Okay, this is a two-part video series, and this video is going to be very short. It's going to basically just, it's an addendum to actually the second video. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I made a boo-boo this morning when I made the first video. I didn't check the battery length in reference to its power, how much power the batteries had on it. I started making a video, and I got about 10 minutes into that video, and then the batteries ran out, and the video camera shut itself off. So I replaced the batteries and started making a new video. Once I started talking in that video, after about 10 minutes, I made a boo-boo. Excuse me. The boo-boo is that I started talking, I basically started continuing to talk in reference to the theme. I started talking about the subject matter concerning where I left off at in the first video. Okay? But here's the thing. I erased that first video by accident. So basically, I made a second video, and when I started talking about a specific subject matter in that second video, I picked up where I left off at in the first video, but the first video got erased. So you're not going to be able to make sense of it until you listen to these following statements. Now, when you hear what's in this video, streamline the theme of the statements to the second video, because I picked up where I left off at in the second video. Basically, the end of my statements in this video will be picked up and finished in statements in the second video. And if you watch it, you'll understand. And the reason why I'm doing it this way instead of just remaking the second video is because the second video is so good. Alright, so just bear with me. Trust me. If you watch this video and the second video, you will be glad that you did. Alright, now let me just make sure the batteries are okay in this one. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fly right into the boo-boo in reference to how the following statements I'm getting ready to make right now pertain to the theme of part of the subject matter of the second video. Okay? Now, listen. This is a description concerning a methodology of gang stalking. It's an actual event, okay, that is already posted all over the internet. And you can find it by going to Google and typing in the following. They had a girl raped and shoved a sock in her mouth as they were raping her. Now, why am I bringing this up? In organized stalking and gang stalking expeditions, what they try to do against targeted individuals in reference to just one of their methodologies, one of their methods, is to create what is known as a traumatization. And the traumatization is created for multiple reasons. What happens to a person's mind when they become traumatized? Well, they end up in a traumatized effect. They end up disassociated. Okay? And even post-traumatic stress can result from this traumatization and victimization. In organized stalking and gang stalking expeditions, what they intentionally do is with complete malice aforethought and criminal intent, will traumatize a victim for intentional purposes, not just because they're rapists or because they are assaulting a victim because the victim is whistleblowing. The following description is done intentionally for the desired result, which I'm going to speak about as well. Now let's take a look at this. You can go to Google right now and you can type in how they had this girl raped, and then as they were raping her, they shoved the sock in her mouth. Okay? This is going to be a very, very, very good video, and please make sure you look in the description of this YouTube video for the second video, because I pick up where I left off in reference to the reason why this specific scenario is being regurgitated to you by me. Just listen. Now, in organized stalking and gang stalking expeditions, they intentionally and deliberately, with complete malice aforethought and criminal intent, traumatize a target. But the motivation concerning why they do it is not just to traumatize the target. They got a purpose pertaining to the actual traumatization. It is as follows, but it's not limited to. Just listen. Now, they had this girl raped, and this actual scenario can be found on the internet. They had this girl raped, and as they were raping her, they shoved a sock in her mouth during the rape. Then, on subsequent days, they got along all of her routes and threw socks along her path to remind her about the rape. They also would have business employees walk up to her in businesses and ask her and approach her with a package of socks and say to her, "Did you forget these socks? Did you forget these socks?" you got to listen to this video. This is very, 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 very important. Just trust me, okay? Now, why are they doing this? And how can they be doing this? Hold on one second. They're doing this because in organized stalking and gang stalking expeditions, one of the main methodologies of gang stalking is not just to create a disassociated individual. Okay? Whenever you experience a traumatization, a episodic memory, you can go to Google and YouTube and you can Wikipedia episodic memories and what they are. Okay? Now, what I want you to hold up into your mind right now, okay, is the fact that they intentionally create associations to a victimization or traumatization. Associations, mental associations, or verbal associations to a traumatization. The socks is the mental association to the victimization, the rape. They become paired together. Do you see what I'm saying? Two things come together. The socks associated to the rape. The socks to the rape. Two things associated. Okay? Then, on subsequent days, every chance they got, the individuals who were responsible for the rape put other individuals along that woman's route to intentionally throw socks along her path to remind her about the episodic memory that was created as a result of being raped and having shocks shoved in her mouth as she was being raped. Because whenever you're a victim of any kind of traumatization, even if you're just in an earthquake and you're trying to escape something from falling on you, that's an episodic memory. It's a memory that's got to do with an event, and it becomes it's called episodic memory in psychological circles. Okay? And it's basically nothing but an event memory. Episode memory. Just like when you watch, like, just hear me out. Say, like, if you got a favorite TV show, okay, and let's just say CSI, okay, and you're watching CSI, and it might be a two-parter, okay. You got the first part, you watched it, and you think, God, this is a really good show. I can't wait to see what happens at the end. And then the end comes, and they leave you hanging until the next show. Okay, you're going to be, and I don't know if the next show will come on the next day or next week or whatever, and you're waiting until the next show comes on so you can see who did what and who got caught and so on and so forth. Okay, basically what I'm trying to say is that the first show that you watched is an episode of CSI, and everything that you watch in that one particular show, okay, are all the events that bring about, are all the steps that bring about the event. It becomes an episode. Are you going to watch an episode of CSI tonight? Then at the end of the show, it leaves you hanging. Okay? So as a result, you got to watch the second show. You watch that show, and it brings alive the whole entire theme concerning what the show was about. Now, all week long, you're waiting for that second show. And you're thinking to yourself, you're going over all the little events and all the little things that happened in the first show. And as a result of you going over it in your mind, you're literally remembering an episodic memory. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you're thinking to yourself, okay, this person did, you know, like say if you got Joe, he did a specific thing in the first show, and Jane did a specific thing in the first show, and how they're interacting with each other, and then they're bringing about the event concerning what the show's about, you know, that particular episode, and then the end comes, but they leave you hanging, and you're not going to be able to figure out what really happened until you watch the next show. All of that you witnessed in the first show becomes a memory based on the episode, based on all the events that were shown in the episode. So basically what I'm saying, you can research this. Episodic memories are on the internet in reference to that being an actual term in reference to psychology. An episodic memory, just like post-traumatic stress. Okay, like a Vietnam vet, he might be in the he was in the Vietnam War, and he was on a particular day, a huge battle happened, and as the battle was occurring, he felt threatened. Obviously, if you're in a war and you're in a theater that, you know, if you're in an environment where there's guns going off and grenades blasting and helicopters in the air, he feels threatened as all this is going on around him. And as all this is going on around him, he hears helicopters, he hears gunfire, he hears grenades going off. And he realizes that his life is in an immediate extreme danger. This is an episodic memory. Then he leaves Vietnam and he goes back home, back here to America. He's walking down the street, he hears a helicopter, and he hears a car backfire. Both of those sounds bring him back to that episodic memory of what he experienced on any given day, on any event that took place towards him when he was in the midst of any battle in Vietnam. Because the helicopter, he heard it, it stimulated the memory, and the car backfiring has got the same type of sound as a gunfire. As a result of hearing these things, or seeing the helicopter, he is brought back to that episodic memory because those sounds stimulated the memories, because those sounds were associated to the memory. Just like when they had the girl raped and they shoved a sock in her mouth. Okay? Then they got along all of her routes on subsequent days and threw socks along all of her path on the ground. They'd walk up to her at a bus stop and say, look at the socks I just got done buying at CVS. Or they'd get a business employee to walk up to her and say, did you forget these socks? Episodic memories. Forget. Memory. Forget. They're stimulating the memory. Did you forget these socks? As a result of her being shown them again, she's remembering. Did you forget? Do you see how heinous they are? The whole goal for them is to play mental ping pong with this girl concerning reminding her about the victimization. Because when you are being traumatized, especially with rape or a vicious assault, your mind becomes disassociated from your consciousness. And that it can be, that word disassociation can be Wikipedia'd as well. Wikipedia. Okay? And disassociated means that the mind becomes disassociated from consciousness because it's the brain's way to currently adapt to the traumatization as it's occurring. So the consciousness is not so overwhelmed as a result of the victimization and the traumatization that is occurring while it's occurring. So, every time she is represented with the socks, and this episodic memory is stimulated as a result of seeing the socks or hearing about socks, the brain stimulates the episodic memory automatically, and it goes right back to a disassociated state, which means that she can't think clearly, that she's not being currently consciously attentive to what's going on immediately in front of her, because she has been intentionally stimulated back to an episodic memory that stimulated disassociation, and she also experiences the visual event of the traumatization, the rape. So basically what they're doing is intentionally creating post-traumatic stress and then stimulating the episodic memories of it intentionally. These are the methodologies of gang stalking. They literally would get along all of her routes every single day and repeat and continually show her socks. Now anybody could get on a bus any single day that she was on any bus route and constantly pull up the pants of their pants and pull up their socks in front of her intentionally. And that is achieved through the stalking of the target, the stalking of her. Just saying the word socks would bring her back to the episodic memory. That's why a common object was used in the rape. Because they know that socks are everyday things that people use and even can talk about in order to play mental ping pong with their mind intentionally. Okay? This is the heinous malice of forethought and criminal intent of organized stalking expeditions. It wasn't just the rape. It was the mind control, controlling her mind by stimulating intentionally the episodic memory that was attached to the rape by using the socks to stimulate it. That's right. They classically condition a response based on association. All these terms can be Googled. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. Now, what they're doing with me is anchoring associations in my mind by using words, phrases, physical gestures. Getting around me on a daily basis and saying gang stalk everywhere I go. And even saying it in specific ways like gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalker, gang stalking, gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalker, gang stalk, oh my god, weird, crazy, gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk, gang stalk, oh my god. That's right. And that's not including other things they do that I can't even talk about, because let me just give you an example. These individuals are literally doing things that they're factually actually doing. Factually actually doing that I can't talk about because the lengths of what they're doing is so far-fetched that people would not believe me. Could this be a tool for them to bait the target to open about to get the target to open about, you know, to get them to open up about what's actually what they're actually doing, in order to then call the target crazy by saying now the target thinks that this is happening, now the target thinks that that is happening, when it factually is. Now I know you're not going to understand that, and I can't open up that much, because if I do, let me tell you, one of the main methodologies of gang stalking, one of the main methods of gang stalking, is to intentionally, with complete malice of forethought and criminal intent, call the target crazy. That's right. So you can't even open up about some of the extreme measures that they actually are concerning things that they're factually doing, because for one, it's hard to prove, and for two, they'll see, because these campaigns are designed to make it hard to see. These campaigns are about psychological operations. Okay, and since it's very hard to prove intent, because conspiracy and secrecy protects the criminal intent that is covertly. See, when you got criminal intent, and if you have you ever heard of, like, there's certain penal codes called conspiracy under the color of authority, or conspiracy to violate civil rights, conspiracy to harass, conspiracy to stalk, conspiracy let me just put it to you this way. There's literally laws about conspiracy. Okay, conspiracy to obstruct justice. But it's very hard to prove that the conspiracy happened, because the way that they cover up their tracks, even using the law to do it, it's very hard to prove. And if you try to prove it, they'll literally call you crazy. They'll literally say, Leslie's delusional. She thinks everybody's getting around her and saying gang stalk. Leslie thinks that everybody's plotting so they can get around her to say gang stalk. Leslie's crazy because she's thinking that they're conspiring to come to her hiking area to evict her from it, even though they're getting up on the sidewalk where I'm living at right now, and literally riding their bikes by and saying gang stalk. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. Make sure you look in the description of this YouTube video. I guarantee you will be glad that you did, because there's going to be a YouTube title in it for you to copy and paste into YouTube so you can watch the second video that this one is stemming from. Now, I continue to talk about, in the second video, about this girl being raped and the purpose and the reason why they did it. They intentionally classically condition and reinforce what has been conditioned by associating words, phrases, physical gestures, sounds, objects, objects, socks, to the gang stalking. That's right. Because they want you to feel fearful that they want you to know first, mentally, that what's happening to you is because of gang stalking. Let me give you an example of this right now. This event occurred on a sidewalk on Thanksgiving Day 2013. Do you hear these individuals say gang stalk? Then the one says gang stalking, but that's hard to hear, because this is what's on this phone is a transferred segment of an audio file of an event that took place on Thanksgiving Day. The actual event was caught on a tape recorder. A segment of that event that was caught on the tape recorder was transferred to my phone. These guys, as they're harassing me and threatening me, they're saying gang stalk. This is what they say. This is what they actually did say. They both said gang stalk together. Then the one said gang stalking, and then that same one said gang a stalking, I'm going to F you up. But in the transfer of it from my tape recorder to the phone, it didn't transfer over the best of high definition quality. So you don't really hear him say gang stalking that well, but you do hear them both say gang stalk, and then the one say gang a stalking, I'm going to F you up. Okay? Now that's associating a threat to gang stalking. Okay? So just listen. showed this video file last night to two separate UCSD police officers. They acted like they couldn't clearly, distinguishably hear it. Total complete bullshit. Okay? And now, getting around a targeted individual and repeating what's been associated to prior victimizations is their way to let the targeted individual know they're being stalked. Think about this. If you went to 7 businesses in one day, 7 different businesses in one day, and you were wearing a tape recorder. Okay, let me show you this right here. See this tape recorder? Okay? This tape recorder has an extended microphone. Okay? And this and they're gonna start going after me at UCSD for wearing this tape recorder in their library. Okay? You know what they said to me yesterday when I was talking to them? A library security guard said, he goes, I'm not giving you my permission to tape record me right now. And the reason why, well, let me just put it to you this way. If library security at any library is involved in gang stalking, and they want to be able to do something towards you that will bring about a desired result, like banning you, or making a falsified police report, or trying to bait you to even be more emotional as you're talking to them, they don't want that caught on tape recorder. No. No, they don't mind the video camera on the ceiling videotaping you and audio recording you, but you can't tape them. That's right. That's right. Now, for one, these guys shouldn't even know that I'm wearing a tape recorder. I told campus police I was wearing a tape recorder, but I never told any library security that I was making a tape recorder, so they're talking with each other. You better believe they are. So if they're going to these lengths to talk to each other, to brief each other that I am wearing a tape recorder, why aren't they investigating the gang stalking of me? Why? Who are they protecting? Are they? Are they protecting somebody? I told them yesterday that Club Med Cafe restaurant employees had been involved in gang stalking on numerous occasions in the past. Right now, I have in my possession over 800 separate audio files of individuals getting around me and saying gang stalk in particular ways. Now, I started to say, imagine to yourself going to 7 different places in one day. 7 different separate stores that are in 7 different physical locations. I'm not talking about a strip mall in one plaza. I'm talking about 7 different physical stores that you got to get in your car in order to go to each separate one. Okay? And say if you're wearing a tape recorder with you, okay, for the whole time duration, from the second you left your house up until the second you came home that night and went back into your house, a tape recorder was recording on you at all times. You went to 7 separate physical stores that are in distances of at least 1 mile apart from each other, at least. And at each of these 7 different stores, you caught individuals on this tape recorder clearly saying the following in the following way: gang stalk, gang stalker, oh my God. Let me just basically tell you the way they were saying it, in the way they were saying it right now. Gang stalk, gang stalk, gang stalker, ah ha ha ha, gang stalk, oh my God, gang stalk, gang stalker, oh my God, weird, crazy, gang stalker, ah ha ha ha, gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalking, gang stalk, oh my God, crazy, weird, gang stalk, in that way, literally. If it was caught on your tape recorder, every single place that you went, of those 7 different places, said non-stop. In other words, they weren't just said at each of the places, they were said non-stop. What would you conclude? Now, that's just one day. I have over 800 audio files of that technique being said in that way along all my routes every single day, including inside the San Diego Police Department headquarters, including inside the San Diego City Council meeting chambers. Look, I want you to listen to this. You just got done hearing a Thanksgiving event that occurred on November 28, 2013, on a sidewalk in La Jolla. Okay? I'm getting ready to play to you right now the same exact method happening 1 full year before, 167 miles away from where it happened here. Now, last night when I was talking to UCSD campus police, I not only let them hear this, even though they would not put the phone directly up to their ear. They only let me hold it to their face about this far away. Then they tried to claim that they couldn't clearly hear it. So then I offered to have them listen to this one from it happening towards me on a bus in Yucca Valley, 167 miles away from La Jolla, where the Thanksgiving event occurred at a year before. Okay? They said, well, no, we don't need to go into all that. Well, of course not. You can't have it acknowledged that they're actually seeing that it's happening to me at other places. Why? Because they got out their tape recorders and started tape recording me. And I said, that's fine, because I'm tape recording you too. So then it would become a matter of record that they acknowledged that they literally even heard it happening around me. That's right. At a distance 167 miles away from La Jolla. Now, UCSD, I already know for a fact that they know that I got multiple, hundreds of audio files of gang stalk being set around me on their campus. So if they were to acknowledge that they heard it on this phone of it happening in Yucca Valley, what does that say? What does that say? It says to me that they did not want to acknowledge the fact that they heard it on their own tape recorders and on mine. And they're going to start accusing me of tape recording people without their permission. And they might eventually even try and file lawsuits against me. That's right. Or charge me with crimes of illegally taping people in public. Fellow American citizens, fellow Californians, fellow San Diegoans, I want you to listen to this. On at least anywhere between 17 and 22 separate occasions, I have requested in my physical presence on separate occasions, between 17 and 22 separate times, for the San Diego police to make a police report that I am a victim of this crime, and they told me no, flat out to my face, each and every time. So I had to take my own measures to protect myself, to prove this criminality is happening to me. That's right, baby case. Now, at the end of the day, these police officers are going to protect their ass in reference to what they did not do. Gross negligence of duty is a crime. It is a crime. Obstructing justice is a crime. You better believe it is. Conspiracy against civil rights is a crime, if that can be proven. And I already know I can prove that because the two things they did in reference to the MTS assault video. The way that they altered the police report concerning that assault, and the fact that they did not investigate the fact that the video was altered. That is obstruction of justice, and so conspiracy had to happen somewhere, including a San Diego District Attorney's Office member. Okay, so when you look at the factual realities that when they're pulling events, they're called street theaters and gang stalking, and they know I'm wearing a tape recorder, they can have it put on tape recorder that I'm proving that anybody's acting inappropriate towards me, whether it be a police officer, UCSD campus police, their library security, their library employees, or any students or patrons that come in. They cannot have it proven that what's happening to me is not my fault if they're trying to accuse me of something in order to ban me or arrest me. And what protects me from that is this. And when I'm out and about in the community, a video camera. So now, they went and looked up the law concerning tape recording people. That you got to let the people know they're tape recording you. That's right. So they can add the option to let you know that they don't want to be tape recorded. Look, I have given the San Diego Police Department every opportunity to make a police report to investigate this crime uncorruptly and honestly. They refused and denied my civil rights to do so. I've been assaulted twice, threatened to be assaulted on 3 other occasions, which you just heard. Okay? That's right. Intimidated like you would not believe. Even intimidated by the San Diego police. So do you honestly think that a woman is not going to do what she's got to do to protect herself? You better believe I will. You better believe I will. And then, since the evidence I got is undisputable, if they ever try to file any charges against me for tape recording anybody, I'm giving you, if you're watching my video right now, anybody connected to these criminalities in the system, you better be careful with your decisions concerning me, sweet peas. Because the more gas you put on the flame, you had no idea. You had no idea concerning what kind of a person I really, really am. Okay? I will hold one event that you do towards me and keep it for 10 full years until I make sure. If you do one thing towards me, okay, especially concerning gang stalking, if you do one thing, one thing towards me, okay, and then hurt me because of it, okay, and screw me over because of it, I will wait 10 years and do everything that I need to do legally to make sure that that crime becomes exposed and you pay the cost for it. Make no mistake about this. I wrote an email in the Point Loma Library when I was out here in San Diego in 2006. And I sent that email to a prosecutor in another state. And in that email, I flat out stated these individuals had no idea whatsoever how patient I am. I literally got the email in my backpack right now. I'm not the kind of person that forgets. My own mother used to tell me about this when I was growing up, that you need to learn how to let go. No, I don't let go because of the simple fact that if you, look, people make mistakes all the time, honest mistakes. People make mistakes all the time. People screw up. People even do things that they shouldn't do, okay? But if they're remorseful about it and they apologize concerning it and don't do it again, then of course I'm going to take a look at that and say, well, okay, I understand. I'm not perfect either. But I will tell you this right now. As a direct result, because of what the San Diego Police Department did towards me in 2006, one event that they did, the resulting crimes that happened towards me, including my ability to have children, were heinous, filthy, and I can't even describe them. They're not walking away from it. I don't give a shit how much they think they'll never have a problem concerning it. They will not walk away from it. I don't know how plainer I can say it. Literally. I mean, I don't think that the San Diego Police Department has put it together in their mind yet what they're dealing with. They are dealing with a person that doesn't have a grudge. They are dealing with somebody who has made it their life's mission to expose their filthy whoredom for what they are. Period. Because of what has happened to me, because of what they did. And everything that I do is legal. That's right. I will never stop, ever. It cannot be said any plainer. Do you understand? That means 20 years from now, 30 years from now, I will fucking never stop, ever. Under any circumstances. Until you pay the price legally for what you did to my life. Period. End of story. And then they had the audacity to initiate the gang stalking against me again when I came back out here for the first time since 2006 on August 8, 2011. Now you idiots that are watching this right now, and I know you are, and I don't give a shit if this is played in court, I don't care what judge sees this. No one walks away from this crime that perpetrates this crime against me because of the vicious, heinous nature of the crimes that have happened to me. You will fucking not walk away. Understand what I'm telling you. These crimes involve rape, torture, murder, and the complete destruction of every aspect of our personal lives. The way I'm having to live right now today is because of them. Okay? Now, these filthy little judges that they're connected to and their little district attorney's office members they're connected to will even compound the fracture by calling you crazy and even trying to put you in an institution. What does that tell you about the heinous nature of their mentality? That they'll rape a person, cause a person to be raped, sexually exploit a person, ruin them financially, cause all this directly because of the crimes they're directly involved in, and then put the same victim in an institution because the victim is exposing what they factually did to the victim. What does that fucking tell you about these whores? This is why I will never stop, because these filthy sewer rats don't have a right to do this to one person. One person. And then, so they get up and live their lives on a daily basis free. Free from being harassed, free from having their lives continually destroyed, free from being reminded about the past crimes that they initiated against them. I've had people walk by me and gaslight me with physical gestures and then say, "Did you have her raped?" associations to stimulate the episodic memory. Do you honestly fucking think, San Diego police, that I'm ever going to let you go? No. Ever. And I'm not talking to any uncorrupted ones. Look, any uncorrupted police officer that gets up in the morning and straps it on to go to work to protect our community is a friggin' hero. But these syndicated, filthy sewer rats who are connected to gang stalking are directly connected to human trafficking rings. You would not believe what I know, and you would not believe what I have seen. Alright, I gotta go. So, I'm here today to tell you, fellow American citizens, I have a right to my justified anger. I have a right to my feelings, my thoughts, and my rights. And so does every other fellow targeted individual that is out there today suffering these horrific, heinous crimes, being exploited in the worst possible ways that your mind can conceive, and then how the very same filthy sewer rats use their employment descriptions paid for by your tax dollars to cover it up. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. Understand this and be clear. I will never stop. And just as a sidebar notation, since I know these filthy sewer rats involve themselves in cyber surveillance, so they're seeing this video, you better believe they will. And they might even try and use it against me by saying, this woman's violent, this woman's crazy, this woman's delusional, this woman's paranoid schizophrenic, this woman's schizophrenic, this woman's bipolar, this woman's delusional. These are the literal labels that they attempt to put on gang stalking targets to discredit them because of the truth they're exposing. Go to Google and type in corrupt county mental health and gang stalking. Just do it. They're filthy sewer rats. I cannot say it any clearer. Okay? So, well, if you take the time to investigate these crimes, now this is individuals on a Yucca Valley bus route 1 year ago, December 11, 2012. Do you hear them saying gang stalk and gang stalking? How did they know I went out there? From La Jolla.
Well, look at that car right there. It's so cute. To the left, it just turned. Those little French cars. Right now? You first time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully my only time.
I'll take the whole thing. This person is the one that's going to hold it.
She's a pretty good girl. She never cried.
I'm going to go hang it up in my,
She's already talking.
I'm going to take my American flag out.
So, 800 audio files do not lie, sweet peas. I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. I am not mentally ill. I am not a threat to myself or others, and I do not carry any weapons on me at all, except for, let me show you. I carry this maze on me with a whistle on it. Okay? And the reason why I carry that is because I've been brutally assaulted. Twice. Retaliation. And then the San Diego police filed a falsified police report and omitted facts concerning that assault and the altered video MTS sent me. Alright, so let me, in closing, make sure again you look in the description of this YouTube video for a YouTube title, because this is a two-part video series concerning gang stalking, concerning the subject matter. What I want you to understand is this, is that gang stalking expeditions, UCSD is going to come up with here's another technique of what gang stalking does. Since this is organized crime in the system, they're connected to judges. There's a manifesto that's on the internet right now that you can go to by typing in a gang stalking tech, everything you need to know. It is a manifesto of a manager of gang stalking. He flat out states that the favorite place to trap a target is in the courts. Yesterday, I walked outside of the biomedical library and went outside to take a break. An individual came out of the back door and he was wearing these cool glasses. So I looked at him and I said, "Hey, those are cool glasses. Where'd you get them from?" He goes, "Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. I know you. You were the one that was banned from the library." He goes, "I'm calling the police." He goes, "I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police." He said that 3 times and then turned around and walked back into the library and created an atmosphere of him talking to one of the biomedical library staff about calling the police. The police are going to be called. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen now? And this is done to anchor anticipation about what's going to happen next because of prior events they have pulled. That's right. and to keep you mentally preoccupied about what's going to happen now. Just because I asked the guy a question, just because I complimented him on his glasses, and I asked him where he bought them from. Then I went, and then when I got done with my break and went back into the library, I went to go approach the counter to find out what was going on, and the same guy was standing there. He goes, "Get away from me! Get away from me!" The same exact way the individual acted on October 28, 2013. He said the same thing in the same exact way. When an event occurred concerning my own bike on their property. Why is this possibly happening? To create incident reports. They get on the library, call the police, library security comes, and they make a report. But you're not allowed to get these incident reports unless you subpoena them. At least that's what I was told by them yesterday. So they can put anything in these reports. Another staff complained about Leslie Williams. So when my cases when I finally file lawsuits, UCSD can say, "Look at all these complaints we got about Leslie." Do you see the heinous nature of gang stalking and the lies and the bullshit? Yeah. Did the San Diego police pull the same thing? They're called staged events and gang stalking. They're called street theaters, and that term can be Googled. So again, on November 20th, 2013, I told one UCSD campus police officer that individuals are getting around me on their campus every day and saying gang stalking. Everywhere I go on their campus. 8 days later, this event occurred on a sidewalk right up the street from their campus. Do you hear these guys say gang stalking? Gang and stalking, I'll F you up. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I got to start my day. So, I'm aware that I got a little bit direct in this video. But if you even haven't had an inkling of what has happened to me because of these horrific criminalities, you would, oh my God, you just would not. Words literally can't describe it. San Diego police, I'm not letting you go. I'm sorry. You need to legally pay for the crimes that you perpetrated towards me in 2006 and again since I've been here in 2011. And you know what they are. It's called obstruction of justice, gross negligence of duty, and possibly directly playing a role in gang stalking street theaters. And I'm going to expose it one day, and I'm never going to stop ever until the truth is exposed. Count on it. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.